Live from WKYC Studios, this is 3 News at 6 with Russ Mitchell and Christy Paul.
This is our worst nightmare when we have a bus full of children involved in a crash.
Governor DeWine this afternoon on the breaking story we've been following all day. At least 6 were killed, 18 injured in a deadly bus crash east of Columbus. Let's take a look at the scene around 9 o'clock this morning on Interstate 70, State Route 310 in Licking County. Also want to show you a map where this happened. Let's get that up if we can. A charter bus was carrying students and chaperones from the Tuscarawas Valley School District to a conference in Columbus when it collided with a semi-truck. The governor's ordered flags across the state to fly at half-staff. Our team has been working hard all day to find out more information. Kaitor Kea and Neil Fisher are in Tuscarawas County, outside of the high school. Danielle Wiggins has more from the bus company. But we begin with Matt Rascone, live in Licking County tonight. You're the scene of the crash. Matt, what's the latest?
Yeah, Russ, we now know the NTSB is sending a team here to the scene to investigate this crash. And you can see the scene behind me. It is still active. The eastbound lanes, though, you'll notice there is traffic flowing by. And so those eastbound lanes have been open. The westbound lanes where the crash happened still shut down right now. But we know that they are making progress in clearing that scene because it was just in the last hour or so that we saw a tow truck carrying away the bus. That's a charter bus from Pioneer Transportation. They were carrying it away from the scene. And when you see it up close, you really get a better idea of how awful this crash was. The front end was crumpled, windows gone. The back end of the bus was smashed in, charred where the semi hit. It was full of students and chaperones from Tuscarawas County, 57 people we heard, and 18 of those on that bus were taken to 7 different hospitals. 15 were children.
Just a tragedy that no one, you can hardly ever imagine it. And it's the worst nightmare for, I'm sure, the superintendent, worst nightmare for the families, worst nightmare for the teachers. And so our hearts go out to them and our prayers.
Now, the governor ordered flags at half-staff at the Capitol building and in Tuscarawas County, where the bus was coming from. They were headed to the Ohio School Board Association conference and trade show. The bus was about 20 miles from the convention center when that crash happened before 9 a.m. today. Now, the bus and the semi, they were just 2 of the vehicles that were involved here. We know 3 other vehicles were also involved. I asked the Highway Patrol about the people that were in those other vehicles other than the bus, and they didn't have an answer for me. But right now, Russ, we know that, again, eastbound lanes are back open on I-70, westbound lanes still shut down, and that NTSB investigative team is expected to arrive here tonight.
Okay, Matt Rascone in Licking County, thank you very much. We want to get right to our Kaitor Kea. He's live at Tuscarawas Valley High School, where many students left school early after learning of that tragic crash. Kaitor, good evening to you.
Good evening, Russ. Now, the superintendent is calling this day heartbreaking and devastating. Now, the school day did continue after the crash happened, but many parents could be seen here throughout the day at the high school taking their kids out of class early. And we saw dozens of parents come, walking up to the school staff outside the building, giving their child's name, the staff then going inside to get them. We saw quite a few students crying as they left the school to go home with their parents. One mother telling us that it was just too heavy of a day for her daughters to stay focused in class. People from the community came to the school to show support as well. Some troopers with the Ohio State Highway Patrol came this afternoon to offer grief and trauma counseling. We also talked to a recent graduate who said as soon as he saw the images of the crash, he needed to come back to school. He had just graduated back in May and came with his mother to give both prayer and support.
Just pray for him. Just pray for people. It's just hard to imagine that. It's such a shock.
The things that we don't know, that's the hard thing, is it's just so much happened and so many people were trapped in there, and it's really sad.
This is a very, very tragic event, and we are trying to do our best to help the community, everybody involved through it.
In a statement to the community, Superintendent Derek Varansky said that right now their focus is getting in touch with the families who had loved ones on the bus and providing support to the entire school community. He says, quote, "Our Trojan family is strong, and it will take that strength and love to get through these coming challenging days." He wrapped up his statement by saying they will release more info as they get it, including plans for upcoming school days and events. And in less than an hour, there will actually be a prayer vigil at the school stadium, and that's where we find our Neil Fisher with more.
Hey, good evening, Kaitor. As we drove in, the golf coach here at Tusky Valley was setting up candles along Main Street in Zoar, which is about 2 miles away from the high school. He said that he's doing that so that the families on their way to this prayer vigil know that they have the support of the community. It was a very emotional conversation that we had. He tells me everyone knows everyone in this community. He tells me that they lost a lot of great people today as well. We've seen dozens and dozens of messages on social media from across the state sending their condolences, their thoughts, and their prayers to this community. We do know that that prayer vigil will begin at 7. The lights here at the stadium just came on, and we'll share more coming up on what's next at 11. Russ.
All right, Neil, thank you, and thank Kaitor K as well. We are also looking into the charter bus and the company, Pioneer Trails, that was carrying the students and chaperones. Education Station reporter Danielle Wiggins joins us now from the newsroom with what they're telling us tonight. Hi, Danielle.
Well, hello, Russ. And we reached out to Pioneer Trails, and they sent us a statement saying, in part, Pioneer is fully cooperating with the authorities as we work to find the cause of the accident. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those impacted by this accident. And Russ, the statement goes on to say that this is an ongoing investigation, so the company will not make any further comments.
So, Danielle, this crash comes in the heels of the next meeting for the governor's school bus safety working group. Tell us about that.
Well, Russ, that meeting is expected to take place on Thursday. But as we know, the bus involved in the crash today was a commercial charter bus, not a school bus. However, the incident did involve students. And the school bus safety working group is looking into different aspects of transportation safety when it comes to students, including alternative transportation and the associated risk. I asked the governor's office if any of the recommendations expected to be released next month from the group would have impacted this incident. And Russ, I was told, since the Ohio State Highway Patrol has not confirmed the cause of the crash, the governor's office says it would be premature to comment on my question.
Okay, Danielle Wiggins in the newsroom. Thank you. We'll keep you updated on this important story as more develops. You can check out the latest on WKYC.com. And we'll have live reports coming up tonight at 7 and 11.